Hello there, I am Izzy Noodles and we are kicking off another new walkthrough, the Dragon Pearl. This is not to be confused with the Dragon Pearls, which was released a few years after this one. So this is a pretty dark one and I will try and brighten it in post without ruining the immersion, and don't be afraid to use your flares, you get plenty. So we do begin in this pretty dark cave. So straight away, just over here, there is a diary page lying on the ground. So let's take a look at the diary. It is said that in the middle of the Japanese mountains, a precious and secret artifact called the Dragon Pearl is kept. The legend says that it confers the power of a dragon to those who possess it, but I have also heard different versions, where the artifact is indeed really dangerous for the one who takes it. I want to travel to Japan to investigate and discover the truth about this. Anyway, that place will surely be guarded. Perhaps the night would be the right time to go without being too much noticed. And if we scroll, this is the page that we have just picked up. Shortly after my arrival, I heard a terrible growl. It didn't belong to an animal. It was something unnatural and monstrous. I don't like the idea of giving up on my search, but I prefer staying alive. And then Lara's put a note to one side. I wonder which creature could emit that growl. Honestly, I hope not to meet it. And then the initial cave where I found this document. So it's nice that you get a bit of backstory in these pages to do with the, the legend of the Dragon Pearl that we're looking for. So when you're ready, you can drop straight on down safely into this water. So don't go too far because we can grab some flares. So just come up to one side on this section and you can stand up and grab this. Okay, and you can just flip out of the gaps, land straight on the flares. And very interestingly, so you can grab a jump switch, but it is not needed, it's not for a secret, and the first time I played I didn't even find this. So you don't need to pull this to complete the game. And honestly, I have no clue where that is. It's so dark, but as I said, you do not need to pull this jump switch. So let's just continue. And I did do a test as well, grab all the secrets and not pull the jump switch, so it's definitely not needed. It's not somewhere we need to go. So this is not advertised as a 100% walkthrough because this doesn't open in TR view, unfortunately, and there's a few nooks and crannies roundabout showing in Fex Inspect, and I don't know how to get to them. But I've seen other players play the same way as me, so either they don't know either, or you just don't get to them. So anyway, coming out into this main area, we'll have a temple house. I don't really know how to refer to this. It's kind of a pagoda, but it's... I don't know. Anyway, this building, we'll open that shortly, and there are some fish here, some koi carp, come to say hi. They don't seem to do damage. So just come along a little ways, and then to my left there is a door up there we will be opening at some point. And the main agenda straight ahead of me is a gate. We need to get that open to access level 2. So that's the goal. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to grab a torch, because just across the water it's kind of hard to see. There's some vines over there, some dark vines that need burning so we can climb to a higher ledge. So come this way. Whoops, got her feet stuck. Okay, there we go. So in the water you do need to look for a lever just here. So this is important, that leads us to the torches. And that's right up this waterfall. Okay, easy peasy, climb on up, and we do have a large medpack here as well. And then you can make a simple jump without a grab just over on this corner edge. And this jump comes across as tricky, but it's not too tricky. Just grab in the air to slide into the gap where we opened up the gate. And here are the torches. So yeah, it's not difficult to get down, but I am clumsy. I make silly mistakes, so I don't want to lose my torch. You do have more if you do lose your torch, but I'm gonna save my game. As I say, you don't need to, but it can help. So watch that ceiling there as well. That can make you fall down. Another spot here where you can fall down. You can overshoot the ledge right down here. There we go. So careful hops, avoiding the water. And just a standing jump here, otherwise you'll overshoot if you do a running jump. Okay, and let's go and light the torch. So pretty simple to get across. Sometimes it can be tricky to just line up very slightly when you have something in your hand. Lara turns a little faster. She's not walking up here very well. There we go, get to the right spot, light the torch, and we do have the hint, so it does feel a little out of context. You can't really see very much. There we go, careful jumping here. There is a slope, so hop over that. And then easy jump to the other side. And there we go, just burning the vines. So we are done with the torch apart from for a secret. So if you want secrets, then hang on to this. I will leave it just here, because once we head into that way, that's where the secret is. I'll take the torch with me through there. But now the vines are gone, we can climb here. So these jumps do seem a little misleading, or at least they do to me. I struggled to know where to head to. So firstly we're heading towards the temple, hopping onto the roof. And there is just a tiny sticking out tile space here. We can do a running jump straight off that through the tree. There's no collision, but there's a flat tile on the other side of that little bush. There we go. Another easy jump onto this flat tile. I've never nearly overshot that before, but there we go. Then we can head to the roof. So we're going to open another gate to head into another new section. So straight up into here. Try not to fall down, because you'll end up straight back down to the ground floor again. Okay, so pretty simple. These are breakaway tiles, but just make your way to the end. The spikes won't necessarily kill you, but they can damage you. Okay, so hop straight across. Wait for the tiles to fall, because then you will need to drop and grab and climb up into this space. So we can kind of get the gist of that is on a roof section. We saw some tiles in that image, so we are heading straight there. To get out of this gap, you can hear that those spikes have stopped. However, there are spikes down in the gaps. You need to do a running jump with a grab. The grab is very important to grab the slope, otherwise you will jump over the slope and straight into a spike pit. So the grab is important. Then you need to slide and jump. Okay, easy to mess that one up too. If you jump too soon, you'll not reach the ladder. Oops, no. I did not mean to hop back. Okay, whoops, that was a bit embarrassing. I don't really know how I fumbled backwards just there. But anyway, so get on out of here. You can either roll out the gap or, you know, drop out backwards. But either way, hold the jump button, because you'll need to hit that slope to jump back onto the roof. Otherwise, you'll head straight back down to the ground floor. So getting up to a higher section on the roof, just come to this corner. We can climb up here. Another pickup of flares along the way. So straight over in this little cave. Okay, kind of awkward to navigate sometimes. But here we are, we have just opened this gate. So come on in, the stairs are the return path. There is a closed gate at the end, so you can't go that way down. We're gonna slide down this side. So there's the gate to the right, but to the left she looks up there. So that is for when we are done in this area. So our end goal in this section, we need to find a key and get into that house. So there's 3 snakes in the water, so be sure to kill them before hopping in. They seem far away this time. Whoops. Okay, there's definitely a 3rd one somewhere. It's probably around the corner. See if I can coax it. So very misleading is this section. You can climb out anywhere. It's hard to tell because there is a tiny gap, but you don't have to climb out just in this gap. And here's that snake. Yeah, you can climb out anywhere along this edge. So that's quite unusual and a little confusing. You might not realize you can do that. So more flares just here, and I first need to work on getting the door to this hut open. So it's currently closed, we need to get in here. Also going to point out that around this corner there's some shuriken stars in the wall. A bit strange. And there is no indication, nothing unique apart from them in this space, but we are going to be moving something onto this spot. This is a unique spot, so more on that when we get there. So hop over, and again, so just in here, I probably should have kept my flare, I just threw it away. There is a swinging spear, we need to shoot that. So you may need to walk further up this sloped tile than you realize. Okay. So coming in, we need to get a second door open. So there is this sneaky jump switch hiding right over here. Just make sure you're turned properly. Okay, and in the next room, there happens to be a ninja. Oh my goodness. Oops. Don't worry if you get hit by anything. If you want to do the no meds challenge, level 1 is super easy. Level 2 is still pretty easy, but this level is like just extreme easy. So he actually drops a small med pack. Okay, and you can go ahead and move this vase onto that spot that I mentioned previously. Okay, I had to go check on something, I'm sorry. Okay, so we're back and I'm gonna just go ahead and move this onto that tile space. Okay, so we have been given a rope. So that is right over there. So we can start making our way to that now. We're going to use that to get onto the roof. So you can climb out either at the bottom of the waterfall, there's a flat tile, or just here. Okay, so coming right up to the edge of this slightly raised block that I'm on, You can grab up to this, but this is sloped, so you want to make sure you're ready to hop back to the tile behind, so very much a blind jump. Almost overshot. Before grabbing the rope, I can easily hop to the other side without the rope, so we can go over there, and I'm gonna grab some Uzi Clips. Okay, so now line up for the rope and we'll head over to the roof. Awesome, so now under this section we're going to enter the back garden area of this house. Okay, and not very easy to see, but if you light a flare right over here, this is a trapdoor. So very easy to miss this, and this is a bit confusing. It looks like trapdoorception, but actually you'll be bounced right up to here. So careful straight over, there is this pit of water you want to land in, so sometimes I like to make sure I'm not going to land on any hard edges. That was a bit close. And then straight into here, we're heading in here to grab the key for that house that's just on the other side of the water. So you can't actually climb out of the water to the house that needs the key. The edges are sloped, so you can't climb out. So in here, what am I looking for? I got lost. Okay, I'm looking for this lever. So this is timed. This isn't too tricky. A timed run will have the platforms raise up, but it's easy to make clumsy mistakes. You'll have to make blind jumps, so you kind of need to learn the route. Not hard, but yeah, it can be frustrating. Easy thing is, remember you don't need to grab anything. You can just do a straight jump to where you need to be. So I'm going to pull this and roll, just kind of run diagonally because Lara won't have the full space to do a running jump because the lever will take up tile space. Okay, there we go. Got it in one. So in the past, yeah, that's taken me quite some practice to do. So now, careful, just drop straight down here. All the platforms will stay up to allow you to get back down. And there we go, we're done. So we can head back out again. Okay, starting just here, hit this slope to bounce backwards. And these are not tricky jumps, but it can be hard to see where to go to in the dark. So straight across to here. Okay, and use this slope, and you will need to grab the edge. And this spot may be the hardest spot. So across the edge, there is a crack in the ledge. It goes pretty far, but you don't need to like aim too far away. I'm gonna save it just in case. So you do have a diagonal to run across just here. Curve maybe very slightly to the right. And you can vault up at any point. Okay, and we are back. Okay, we're done, so we can head back onto the rooftop to get out of here. A really cool stumble animation that I often forget about. Oops, nearly. That's not the first time I've nearly run straight off the roof. Okay, straight under, and don't drop off the roof because we need to get to this zip line, and then that will get us to the other side. So there'll be a bit of a surprise come around the corner. We have a dragon. I think it doesn't really see Lara when she's on the edge, the rocky edges, but yeah, he explodes once you've killed him. So then you can go ahead and use the key that we've picked up and come inside. And all that is here is this fan. So now that section is opened, so that's at the bottom of that waterfall. We are done here now, we can make our way there. So we've not seen where to use the fan yet, but we are opening up access to that location next. Okay, right here, we can exit out here now, but we're not going to because we can use this space to now reach this opening. This looks tricky. I must be careful not to let those tiles fall together now. So these are breakaway tiles, and basically you need to get back once you get over. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. I didn't realise I was too close to that. But we've opened up access to a new spot in the ceiling. Let's see how this goes. Oh, okay, that didn't work out at all. Okay, I guess I best take a step back. My bad. Just watch the ceiling though. That's one reason I wanted to be kind of close, but I guess I was a little too close. I've done it again. Have I gotten rid of the wrong tiles? I mean, not that it matters. No, I didn't. This is fine. Sort of, maybe. I don't even know what I did. I think that still wasn't what I planned to do, but it's fine. Okay, so now we are ready to move on back out of here. So the new section that I opened up is right here. We can drop down into here. Shoot another ninja. If he starts waving his sword, then just put your weapons away or turn your back. Okay. And we have another scroll in here as well, so grab this and let's take a look.
No.
Those dragons, their condition is the punishment for what they did when they arrived here. What does it mean? I thought the dragons were guarding the place together with the ninjas, but maybe I was wrong. Anyway, those dragons are creepy. Yes, they are. But if we have a look around, we can see this is where we're placing the fan that we picked up. So go ahead and put this down. And the temple is now open. We can start making our way there now. So you can easily get off the roof, just drop safely, just be mindful of the flare. Okay, and quick, just gonna grab some flares that's down the side of the house. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Okay, so to pass these traps easily, you can just roll straight on through. And inside we have one piece of the Oni mask. So it's kind of showing us where the second piece is. We haven't yet been there, but we're going to work on that now. I didn't need to crouch so soon. Okay, so the next thing to do is now I'm going to open up that gate that I left the torch in front of. So inside there is where the next mask is. And it's actually where most of the secrets are. So we're going to climb up again. Okay, aim for this tile. And some of these jumps, because it's dark, it's hard to see where to go. So it's kind of hard in that respect. But I'm going to do something optional just in here while I'm here. Don't need to do this yet. This is for the end of the level when we've got both mask pieces. But there is a button to press just here. So we've given a swing pole. I can show you where that is. But that is just to get to the area where we're going to use the mask. And this jump can actually be tricky. Aim for that flat section again. I'm going to save it just in case. Oh, you see, I always just skim it. Where am I right now? Where am I? Okay, I'm not far away. There we go, but yeah, you can just jump straight out of the cave section there. That's easy peasy to do. And the swing pole is right up there. But as I've said, that's for the end. So for now, you can do a standing jump, just jump over here, safely land here, and we can head inside this section. Okay, being mindful of your flare as well. You're gonna slide, I'm gonna say roll, slide, come around and vault up. And there we go. We're gonna get rid of that now because I don't really need it. And we're gonna use the monkey bars to get to that lever. So there is a slope just here as well. You need to actually start sliding to get to the monkey bars. So that's a bit confusing. So make sure you're sliding on the slope and then grab the monkey bars. Awesome, so that door is now open. So I suppose it doesn't matter what order you actually do this in. This is just my preferred order. So straight down into the water. And here we go, come on in. What I did fail to mention is you start out with the Desert Eagle with laser sight equipped. I forgot to say that. But just careful of your shots. You do get more ammo for it, but not much, and you will need the ammo. So just grabbing the torch. Struggling to maneuver. Okay, gonna throw the torch because there's another dragon. Laura's looking at something that's kind of annoying. I didn't realise she did that. Okay. So in this section we have 2 huts or houses or temples, however they're called. Pagoda is a word, but I don't know how accurate I am in using it for these. Just gonna grab some flares that are here on the porch before I forget about them. So firstly I will just get this door open, or at least work on getting that door open. So actually I was wrong, hold on. What I'm gonna do won't get the door open. But there are these discs roundabout that need shooting. So here is number 1, there are 5 altogether. And I got a bit mixed up. So they open the gate in the water. So there is another one in this tree. I think that's what Lara was looking at while I was trying to shoot the dragon. Okay, coming into here. I'm gonna pull a jump switch that will open that next hut. So straight on up, and directly across the way is the jump switch. So that is open. There is another disc to shoot, so don't be behind the statue while trying to shoot this because there's collision and you won't hit it. Okay, so that's 3 of 5, and the next 2 are in this section. While I'm here, secret 1. Magic. This looks like a receptacle, so I missed this the first time. I thought I was looking for something to put in the tree. Very sneaky. So inside we do have 2 ninjas. This is a chance to pick up some more ammo. And you can use the look button to alternate between them if they start blocking your shots. He's being especially annoying. Okay, there we go. And one of these guys drops more Desert Eagle bullets. So as we walked in, Lara looked up. So yes, you can come up here. There's a space to crawl up to, but yes, you can also get set on fire. So be as far to one side as you can be. If you're too far over, Lara actually doesn't like to climb up onto this. It's kind of annoying, even though it looks like she should. So very careful, climb up, make sure you're in the corner. Grab up. Okay, there we go. Here is disc number 4 and some more Desert Eagle bullets. So this is all you will be getting, or at least in this level. So number 4 is dealt with. Okay, and careful climbing down. Oops, how did I do that? Okay, and then I like to just quick roll off that edge. And we can go for disc number 9 is 9. Where did number 9 come from? Disc number 5. I'm still learning my numbers. So that is right up here. There we go, that is open. One thing I will do before heading there is grab another secret, so this is what I'm going to need the torch for. And just be aware that this door is now closed. I think this closes once you open these doors, they swap over. So you can't leave here until you have what you need, which actually is the mask piece. So the torch is to be used right here. So that's done some crazy magic. It's hard to know what's actually going on there. But that is in this room. This painting has now changed. You can walk through the painting after using the torch. You couldn't walk through this before. So here is secret 2. Okay, and an important page to pick up is right here. This is going to help us with the puzzle in a little bit. So what I'm going to do next is actually we need the Gong Hammer to ring the gong. So ringing the gong will open up the trapdoor that's right here, and then we can go up and use this page to help us with a puzzle. So the puzzle is actually to do with getting these doors open. So there's a special item behind each door. We're going to use them right up on the balcony above, and the Oni mask is through the doorway. You can just see there's a doorway. So you might want to, let me show you this now before I begin while I'm standing here, because I might forget to explain the situation. This is what we've just picked up. So these are numbers. So it will become a little more clear what we're doing when we do get to the level above. But yep, if you take note of them and what's above each door. So what is this? This is 10 and 4. And across the way is 2 10 and 4. So more on that when we get there, but I am going to go grab the Gong Hammer first. Okay, so we need to pull a lever to open up a door that will then lead us to the Gong Hammer. It's not tricky, but the trickiest part for me is returning with the Gong Hammer. I get a bit disorientated, and unfortunately it's not that easy for me to make a map this time because I couldn't open this game with TR view. So do your best. The lever is very easy. Stick to the left. We are not going to the right under any circumstances actually, but immediate left and left again. And here is the lever. So it makes sense. And then I'm going to go back for air. So of course right and right and right and right to leave. So getting the Gong Hammer and getting back again. So immediate left again, but not such immediate left. But just keep going left. That's, oh god, where am I? Well, that didn't work out. No, okay, abort. There's the lever. I think I didn't need to take such an immediate left. So I made a mistake. Let's try it again. So don't go immediate left, just go forward left and left. Yep, this is the path. Oh, it's okay. Just I missed the left turn. And left, and this is where the Gong Hammer is. Now be right over this because Lara hates picking this up. There we go. Now you have to get out. So yeah, the rides are pretty simple, except you might end up back at the lever. If you do, not a problem, but your air might run out. So don't take a right, go straight forward. And there we go. So not too tricky, but I like the idea of going left and left and then right and right. So now we have the Gong Hammer. Let's go and use it. Awesome. So the first room I'm going to do, just out of choice, is that one. So that adds up to 14. So it does get a bit weird how to do the puzzle. Whoops. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter if I've got my revolver. So here we go. We have these two chains. Let me step back a bit. So two chains. And then these tiles. So the chains rotate each block. If I just turn, you can see actually that's a block, and then there's a sign saying times and then another block. So you need to find the numbers that are gonna add up to what's on the doors. However, one door seems like it doesn't add up correctly. I can't tell if maybe I'm the idiot, but I can tell you how to open the door, what's gonna work. So for the first door that I'm gonna choose to go through, that is, if you think of 4 times 6, wait, which door am I going through? I've completely forgotten how to count. 16. I think I told you incorrectly the first time. So the door with the most numbers adds up to 16. That's 2 and 10 and 4. 16. It's okay, we're learning. So yeah, 4 times 6 is 16. So let's go with this. So if you remember your note in the diary, you might want to just write that down to save you constantly coming back to the diary. Okay, 4. And 6. So this room is slightly trickier, but it's still doable. It's not actually hard in any way. But you want to first drop into the water and locate this lever. Yeah, you just got a few jumps that you need to make. The other room is just easy to accomplish. Takes a bit longer, but yeah, it's easier. So we need these ladders to help us navigate. So to start the puzzle, you can either climb out at the bottom of this slope that's in front of me, or I prefer to just jump from the edge out of the water. Don't really need to save, but I don't remember the last spot where I saved. Okay, yeah, it was when I was getting the Gong Hammer, so it was really close. So don't jump too late on this slope, otherwise you'll be too far away to curve to the slope on the left. Okay? And what did I just say? So as you can see, it's not tricky, you just gotta line up right. Just gotta be more specific than you think. Oh, I jumped too soon and I missed the ladder. You see? Sometimes you just know, like, it's not hard. Why am I messing it up? There we go, we did it! So very specifically you need to come this way around because there is the one face of this that does not have a ladder and you'll fall down if you shuffle on over to that side. And this can seem disorientating because of the camera angle. You want the ceiling to block your jump so that you're not jumping too far back on the next slope that's right below me, right behind me. Because you need to curve. There we go. So yeah, not tricky, but sometimes it's easy to bumble. So this is piece number 1. I think it's Magatama. Double check. Magatama. And we need a second one from the other room as well. Also just realised I probably should have explained that yeah, you're just shooting that door open, which is misleading because we found levers for all of the other doors, but yeah, this one you just shoot it. Bit late to explain that. Anyway, this next door is a bit weird because it is 10, it's the cross, which is, oh my god, I'm messing my numbers again. It's 14, the cross is 10, and the square shape is 4, but if you do 2 times 7, Yeah, that seems legit. Oh my goodness me. How am I failing my numbers today? I've made notes on this. I'm actually reading them. So okay, this is what I was thinking. How am I even functioning today? So this is a 7. I think that's my thought process. This is a 2 and a 7 equals 14. We're getting to 14 here. Bear with me. I'm not usually an idiot, I promise. But okay, come on in. There will be a ninja. I will just use, oops, my Desert Eagle because I can afford to. You don't want to use too much ammo. You may want to hang on to it for later on. We have another diary page here. That orb is too dangerous. Somebody tried it on his skin. For this reason, we are here to make sure that it won't happen again. It would seem that these ninjas don't protect the sphere. They protect the ones who try to take it indeed. But why is it so dangerous? What does it do? So this is basically a translation of the page Laura picked up and then Laura's thoughts. So yeah, it's becoming mysterious. But anyway, here we have 2 buttons we need to press. So each one will show us this. Of course, that is the sign of what will change once we've pressed them both. Okay, come on in. Okay, and there are 4 platforms to hop to, so it doesn't matter which one you go to, just as long as you climb up and hop to any of these platforms. We'll need to hop to all of them. Okay, so on each of these there is a dragon. What happens when you try and pick one up? You'll notice Laura's not picking it up. This is a puzzle piece. So that's very clever. Kind of looks like you need to pick these up, or at least pick up the correct one. But no, all you're doing is turning every single one of these to face the direction that the dragon on the wall is facing. Super simple, so let's hop to the next one. Oh, she turned for some reason. I think I clipped the edge of the pedestal. There's a first time for everything. Last one. Okay. So this block right down here lowered where I entered, allowing us to grab the second Magatama piece. Awesome, so now let's go and use these. So here we go. You kind of probably thought that we were going to combine them, but no, there is a receptacle for each of these. Okay, and that is where we're going to be using this. So once we have this, the door opens to allow us to leave again. So making our way to the swing pole to use this, and we're going to grab a secret along the way as well. So again, you can do a standing jump just over to here. You can run and jump if you want. You can grab the edge, but you really don't need to. Much easier just to do a standing jump. Okay, straight up to here. Gonna grab the swing pole. You can either jump forward onto the slope and then twist back, or jump back like this. I'll just save it just in case. There we go, it doesn't matter which. So that's what opened up, but before I go in there, I will grab the secret. Okay, you can stand here, and I do find it best to do a half tile running jump. You just need to get over that slightly raised section. So kind of hard to see that, but because of the space behind you, just do a half tile jump. There we go. See it a little better now. And then just shimmy over to the opening. Okay, just climb straight into here, and the secret is sitting right on the ground. Nice. And to get out, you'll just need to climb up onto this, hop over the slope. And to get back, you will need to do those jumps again. We just need to shimmy back to this flat tile just over here. And then drop down when you are above that. Okay, hop to here again. And up, and then we can use the swing pole. Awesome. So I'm gonna try and save my ammo just a little bit. Doesn't really matter. But there we go. We need to shoot this bell. That opens this, or at least it activates these doors. Come on in, and you just need to combine your mask pieces and use the Oni mask right here. Awesome, that gate is open and we can proceed to level 2. That was kind of close. Sweet. Nice. So there will be a brief flyby to begin us off for the next level, so I will leave that for next time. So thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take it easy.